We're waking you up on a Wednesday with two-time career builder champion Phil Mickelson expected to make his 2017 debut this week. We will ask what the year will have in store for Lefty. He might be the event's official ambassador for the first time, but we'll give you our whole of the week out at PGA West. And with 3 host courses, there's plenty of choice. Plus, our Golf Channel Academy Coaches series continues. Find out how you can make your golf swing sing, Sinatra style. Yes, Morning Drive tees off now.
Good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive, Wednesday, January the 18th, the year 2017. Hump Day. Stay tuned. Damon Hack alongside Paige McKenzie and Chris DeMarco. Good morning. What's on your mind, Paige?
You know, I'm seeing the scenics of Palm Springs Desert. I actually used to live out there early in my career, and I was so jealous of all the Hawaii scenics. Now we're all jealous of the Palm Springs scenics. I know the Champs is back in Hawaii. Basically, everybody in the north. Watch out.
Constant state of jealousy. Are you jealous as well? You love those pretty island spots.
Well, I'm jealous of where they are in Palm Springs right now. That was always such a great tournament to start the year on. Greens were perfect. Not much wind. The courses aren't too hard. You can actually feel good about your golf game after a rusty off season. So I'm looking forward to watching these guys, and I wish I was there.
No doubt. I said Hump Day. Have you seen the video of Humpback? This gator found in Polk County, too close to Orlando, Florida, in my opinion. Look at this video. This thing is huge. Some 12 feet in length.
At least.
I mean, are you kidding me? The locals call it Humpback.
That is a big boy right there. Look at the size of that head. Are you kidding me?
Wow. How about the Jurassic Park theme on a Wednesday morning?
It is. That's a dinosaur right there.
Now, a little bit later, we got Tim Williams coming from Gatorland. He's the Dean of Gator Wrestling. He's going to teach us about safety on a golf course should you encounter a gator. It's a serious
We might even bring
conversation.
this back during Florida Swing again, too, when all the PGA Tour guys.
No question about it. We will, says our producer, Aaron Beard. Much to do on this Wednesday. Let's say good morning to Chantel McCabe. Good to see you again, Chantel.
Yes, well, good morning to you, but not good morning to that nasty-looking gator.
Yes.
Because I, right now, have successfully avoided any encounters with any gators on the golf course, as Cara Robinson can tell you. But I'm hoping that streak stays alive. But as for this Wednesday morning, much to discuss. The big news, of course, Phil Mickelson scheduled to make his return after 2 hernia surgeries. He's paired with Bill Haas at the Career Builder Challenge and hopes to be able to make his 2017 debut tomorrow, but will make that final decision today. We'll also be looking at Ricky Fowler's game as he tries to defend at the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, and the PGA Tour champions. They're kicking off their season on Thursday. But let's now dive deeper into what exactly is happening with Phil Mickelson at the tournament that he is the ambassador of. And for that, we'll send it over to Damon for more on Lefty.
All right, thank you very much, Chantel. State your case for Phil Mickelson. He's got 2 wins at this golf course, 5 top 10s and 13 starts. But big picture for Phil, no win since 2013, Paige McKenzie. Why is 2017 potentially going to be a great year for the Hall of Famer?
Because he's coming off of 2016, a great season for Phil Mickelson. Multiple runner-up finishes. We saw him try to take down Henrik Stenson in that great duel at the Open Championship. I think coming off of a great year, he's going to have a ton of confidence moving into this season as long as he stays healthy.
She just stole everything I was going to say.
No, right out from under you.
But, I mean, 3 runner-ups. I mean, obviously, again, that great duel with Henrik Stenson. But 16 to 22 cuts. We saw a lot of good form from Phil and a lot of consistency. Obviously, having a good chance to win 3 tournaments just shows that he put himself in position. And we know what Phil Mickelson does. He wins 42 career wins. I mean, he knows how to win on the golf course. And I think that he's going to get back in that winner's circle. I think it's going to be early in the year. I think it's going to be somewhere in the West Coast.
And one of the things as players age, you look for is that there's consistency around the green. And he was a top 10 performer in putting last season. And that's one of the things that Phil, it's gone up and down through his career. So if he can maintain a hot putter, watch out.
In 2014, he was runner-up at the PGA. 2015, runner-up at the Masters. 2016, runner-up at the Open. Also runner-up last year at Pebble Beach and Memphis. How about the Ryder Cup? 10 birdies on that Sunday against Sergio Garcia, 2-1-1. I think he can still win golf tournaments on the PGA Tour. But what about a major, and what major perhaps, Chris, sets up best for him at this point in his career?
Well, I'm going to give you two. The first one is what I think he's going to win, which is probably Augusta. That's probably his best chance. That's where he's won 3 times, and it's always good. I'd like to see, on a selfish note, I'd love to see him win the U.S. Open. I think the career that he's had and the player he's been, for him to complete the career Grand Slam, I think would be just the topper for his career. So, selfishly, I want to see him win the U.S. Open.
You're rooting for the storyline, Chris.
I'm rooting for the storyline.
You're really in
Aaron
music
Hills,
now.
6 runner-up finishes.
Aaron Hills, I mean, he's got his chances.
He can play U.S. Opens.
So I'd love to see it, but what a storyline that would be to see him contending on the back 9 of the U.S. Open to complete that career Grand Slam. That'd be unbelievable.
I think there's going to be a lot of people rooting for that storyline. But for odds, I agree with Chris. It's got to be Augusta National. Just looking up some of his recent finishes, the last 21 years, which I guess wouldn't be so recent, but his career there in 21 years, 15 top 10s. 11 top 3s. He's finished in the top 3 over 50% of the time in the last 20 years. So you got to believe that that's odds-on favorite for if he gets a major championship.
And suddenly the Open now is strength. He wins in 2013. Last year, shoots 63 in the first round, 65 in the final round. Still ends up finishing second to Henrik Stenson. Another top story. We send you back to Chantel.
Yes, well, Mickelson, of course, eager to get back to work, along with his caddy Bones, who, by the way, also on the men, coming off of a double knee replacement. But now let's turn our attention to the European Tour. Many big names in the field this week, including Ricky Fowler, not only trying to defend at the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, but this will mark his 2017 debut. His last start was at the Hero Worlds Challenge, where he finished T3. Now, last year, he defeated Thomas Pieter by 1 stroke to earn his 2nd European Tour win and moved to a career-best 4th in the world. Let's send it to Kara for some more news and notes of what exactly is happening this week in the Middle East.
Thank you, Chantal. Well, some of the best players in the world have been spinning the decks out in Abu Dhabi. Yes, defending champion Ricky Fowler was joined by 2 of last year's major champions, Dustin Johnson and Henrik Stenson, as well as Ian Poulter, to mix some music with British broadcaster and radio DJ Reggie Yates. Some party. It looks like they were having out on the driving range. And one man who likes to move is our Golf Channel insider, Tim Rosefort, who is on site at the Abu Dhabi Golf Club, and we can welcome him in now. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Cara. It's kind of unbelievable to think that I'm on the other side of the world right now, 9 time zones away. I don't know whether to say good morning or good afternoon, but such a wonderful place here in the desert. People are welcoming and polite and happy to have us here. You think about the cultural differences, of course, but you know, this is, as Dustin Johnson said to him in his first visit to this part of the world, very Scottsdale-ish, certainly in terms of the climate. And just to get into the flow of things, last night after we flew, it's 8 hours from London, as you know, just to get here, plus the crossing of the Atlantic. Went out to the local souk, had a nice Italian dinner along the Kar Al-Mata River, which overlooks the grand mosque here in Abu Dhabi. So we're starting to feel it, and we're certainly starting to get into the golf too. You go by the driving range or the putting green, even without Rory McIlroy, there's a feel here in the first stop of the Desert Swing that it's almost like a World Golf Championship. That's how many stars are here playing in this HSBC Abu Dhabi Championship.
It certainly looks that way, Rosie, and feels like it as well. I know some big news came out overnight regarding criteria for European Tour membership and Ryder Cup qualification going forward. Can you update us on the changes?
Well, Cara, you look at it on paper, and the reduction from 5 to 4 mandatory starts to become an official member of the European Tour, or giving the captain 1 extra pick, doesn't seem like much. But to Keith Pelley, chief executive of the European Tour, and to Thomas Bjorn, the next captain, these are big changes that are necessary after a 6-point loss to the United States at Hazeltine.
For me, it was important to look at how we could get the best possible team, but still appreciate that the players have 103 weeks in those 2-year period that they look after themselves and their own careers. But I think we come up with a system that works for where we are in this moment in time in golf and with European golf. So I think we're quite confident that we can present the best possible team that we can have for 2018 through this system.
I think it gives us a good balance between having informed players and also gives Thomas a little bit more room for movements in terms of having an extra pick and maybe to do that a bit later as well. So it's a good system, I think, and I think it was a good change.
Thomas and I and a couple of key staff members spent significant time over the last 2 or 3 weeks kind of coming up with a plan that really was cohesive and that was intertwined, and we think we have a plan that is set for success. And I think, Tim, even though as much success as we've had in the past, I think you always have to be looking to evolve, and you always have to be looking to tweak something, and we're not complacent in any such way. We lost in Hazeltine. The Americans are a great team, great players, and we need to have our best team in 2018 to be able to compete at their level.
Cara, one other more than minor change to this is that in 2018, beginning with the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth and enrolling through the entire Rolex series, that points for the Ryder Cup will actually be increased from 1 to 1.5. Again, you look at it all on paper, doesn't seem like much, but you could tell by the tone in both Pelle and Bjorn that this was a major project for them, beginning with the Dubai World Open at the end of last year, Pelle meeting with 3 players at a time, players with Ryder Cup experience, of course. You get to the point, though, in all of this and the analytics and all the breaking down of things that the European Tour is quite serious about this next Ryder Cup, and that 6-point loss at Hazeltine, based on the changes that were made, was unacceptable. Back to you.
Good update, Rosie. Thank you. A positive move and forward thinking from the European Tour once again. He's going to join us again a little bit later in the show. That was Tim Rosafort live from Abu Dhabi. But now it's back to Chantal McCabe.
Thanks. Some major news with the Ryder Cup, but now on to the PGA Tour Champions. It's the season opening event for 2017. Kicking things off, this will be the first of 26 official events. This first stop comes in Hawaii. Duffy Waldorf, the defending champion in the 49-man field, and I doubt any of these guys are going to be fishing on their kayaks this week, but maybe I'm wrong. Of course, the ageless Bernhard Langer will be teeing it up. Last season's Charles Schwab Cup winner, Damon With, a 59-year-old who has been first season after season in ball striking, greens in regulation, birdie average. Who on earth is going to have a shot at challenging him in 2017?
Only Bernhard Langer can stop Bernhard Langer. That's what I think. He turned 60 in August. Paige, is there someone that has a good shot maybe to take it down? He's won 3 straight Charles Schwab Cups.
What he's done is incredible, but I'm going to give you a name, and there's a caveat to this.
Okay.
I'm going to say Miguel Angel Jimenez, but there's a caveat in that he needs to play more in order to challenge. Coming off last season, he played 13 events and finished 6th on the Schwab money list, which tells you the quality of play and the consistency that he had. Never finished outside the top 30 all season long, only had the 1 win and multiple 9 top 10s on the season. So if he plays more, which I'm hoping he will, because I'm a fan and I love to watch him play, I think he has a shot of challenging.
We'll hear from Greg McLaughlin, the president of the Champions Tour, a little bit later. Miguel still likes to dabble on the European Tour, where he has 21 wins in his career. Who do you have?
You know, I have the same caveat. I hope that he plays a lot too. And it's David Toms. He just turned 50 on January 4th. Obviously one of the most consistent players on the PGA Tour over the last 23, 25 years. 111 top 10s, 13 wins. He's won a major. You know, just all around, every part of his game's good. Everything from start to finish. He's a great driver for the golf. Always been one of the straightest guys on tour. You know, plenty long enough to play out there. And obviously playing on the PGA Tour right up to the Champions Tour, so he's still competitive ready. I think David Toms can make a huge splash out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won this week.
Great point. I hope our viewers remember this conversation. Woody Austin, that's my guy.
Okay.
3 wins last season, just won the Diamond Resorts Invitational, shot 59. He's in a good place. Woody Austin.
Looks like he's actually having fun on the golf course.
He is.
Amazing what happens, Woody, when you have fun.
Yeah. Woody's become social. Speaking of social, let's send you back to Chantal.
Oh yeah, we've got plenty of social to talk about on this Wednesday morning. Tyrrell Hatton sent out this Instagram. He captioned it saying, "Great to be back in Abu Dhabi. One of my favorite events of the year. Pretty cool view walking up at 18. Check out that view. Gorgeous day there. Good to see him back in action. The world number 23 got his first European Tour win in November and is coming off of a season to remember." And how about this? Henrik Stenson. He was playing in Abu Dhabi this week. He had some fun with DJ. Dustin Johnson, of course, and he thinks that he might need to keep his day job. Hashtag anyone's game. They're certainly having a lot of fun there, rocking and rolling. And next up, Thorbjorn Olesen shows off the night view with that big smile, saying lovely evening in Abu Dhabi. Looking forward to play the first tournament of 2017. Hashtag back to work. And somebody else getting back to work this morning, our own Matt Janella, to come and tell us what is happening the rest of the show. Matt?
Thank you, Chantel. Yeah, coming up on today's show, we're talking Palm Springs, the evolution of one of the great golf destinations in America, plus hole of the week. We're going in depth on the Island Green, the two Island Greens, both built by Pete and Alice Dye. That and a lot more right here in Morning Drive.